Hello, this is Examination 5 video review, and let's get started. What do psychoactive drugs affect in terms of the brain? Why do people abuse drugs? And in terms of college students who are defined as addicted to drugs, what is the percentage of those students that are considered addicted to drugs? In terms of binge drinking, what are the things that define an individual who would be considered to be binge drinking? What illicit drugs are most popular in the United States? And the non-medical use of what drug category is the highest in the United States? Again, the non-medical use of which drug category of illicit drug use in the United States is what? Which of the following would be considered drug misuse? Buying an allergy medicine online with a prescription, taking one of your mother's prescription sleeping pills to fall asleep, taking aspirin for an ankle sprain, or doubling the standard dosage of pain medication on a doctor's recommendation. What is it called when you have intense pleasure from dopamine? What is drug addiction characterized by? The flat feeling or depressed feeling that drug users may feel when they're not taking a drug is related to what aspect of the brain? If someone is abusing or using drugs over a long period of time, what condition in the body could that lead to? What are the symptoms of drug withdrawal? Psychoactive drugs intoxicate the brain and cause what type of changes in the body? In terms of illicit drug use, what are the rates of drug use in terms of demographics? Are males or females more likely to use drugs? What percentage of Americans use drugs? And are they more common in urban areas or rural areas? As far as chewing tobacco goes, what is the most common method of administration through the body? In terms of methods of drug administration, what is the slowest way for it to reach the brain? In terms of physiological responses to a drug, what are the different aspects that would vary the response? Could it be weight, ethnicity, tolerance? What are the physiological responses to a drug depend on? When a person takes 2 or more drugs, the physiological effect are likely to be greater if the drugs exhibit what? What are some examples of drug misuse? What is the most commonly misused drug by college students in terms of prescription drugs? What are some statements about over-the-counter medicines that are correct? Are they safe for pregnant women? Do they not present any challenges associated with prescription drugs? Could they interact with herbal supplements? Do they include allergy pills and cold medication? If you're combining acetaminophen and alcohol, this can lead to what problem? What type of damage? What are some true statements about marijuana? Use at college is more common among males and females. It is most commonly used in the college setting and outside of the college setting in the United States. More than 10% of Americans over the age of 12 use marijuana. Marijuana is often rolled and smoked as a cigarette. Which one of those statements is true and which one is not? What is the main psychoactive chemical in marijuana? What is the physiological effects of marijuana? What are the long-term effects of marijuana? What is considered a central nervous system stimulant? What is the most popular mind-altering drug in the world? What's a common effect of excess caffeine consumption? And as far as caffeine goes, what are withdrawal symptoms of caffeine? Adderall and Ritalin are prescribed to assist in what type of euphoria, fatigue, or disorder? How does methamphetamines differ from amphetamines? What is ecstasy's negative effect, and what is it similar to in terms of LSD, amphetamines, barbiturates, or alcohol? Rohypnol can make people vulnerable to sexual assault because it can cause what type of problems and reactions? Inhalants include what type of substances? Depressants reduce what type of actions in the body? What are 12-step programs designed to help alcoholics and drug addicts do? According to national surveys, what percentage of adults in the U.S. drink alcohol? In 1984, Federal Uniform Drinking Age Act has had all of the following positive effects on health and safety except decreasing suicides, decreasing alcohol consumption in minors, decreasing alcohol-related traffic fatalities, decreasing the availability of alcohol nationally in retail stores. If Katie only drinks on the weekends and she typically consumes 4 to 5 mixed drinks during the first 2 hours that she's out with her friends, what is this drinking pattern called? And what is this type of drinking most common in terms of age group? Under 18, over 25, 18 to 24, or 25 to 30? What ethnic group has the highest percentage of current drinkers in the United States? Which type of student is least likely to binge drink? What effect does parental acceptance of alcohol use during high school have on college drinking patterns? Does it have any effect? Does it increase, decrease the use or misuse of abusing alcohol during college? Does it encourage the student to drink responsibly? What is the blood alcohol concentration, and what is it affected by? Does it affect a person's judgment and decision making? Is it affected by how quickly a person drinks and how much? Is it affected by a person's body weight or what a person's had to eat? Do you recall Rita's story in the chapter? What is the best explanation in terms of the differences between Rita and her friends' reactions to the alcohol they consumed? What are the short-term effects of alcohol consumption? What is the effect of coffee on a hangover? If somebody wakes up with a hangover, what's the best way to treat it? What are the problems with drinking alcohol during pregnancy? If a person stops drinking alcohol and experiences physical symptoms, this is called what? If you have a blood alcohol concentration level of what percentage or higher, you will qualify for a DWI arrest. What are some of the peripheral problems that accompany the blood alcohol concentration test if you're found to be above the legal limit? What is the implied consent law? What are factors that increase a person's risk for abusing alcohol? Of the following characteristics of the alcohol young adult subtype include which? Having a family history of alcoholism, being free of mental disorders, being an alcoholic by the age of 21, being unlikely to seek help for alcoholism. If a young boy's father died from alcohol poisoning, and later he starts drinking and using gateway drugs at the age of 12, and then he's later diagnosed with bipolar, what subtype is this young person? A young adult subtype, a young antisocial subtype, an